Back to another motherfucking video. Today we're reacting to what do black people think about white people. Ooh, you know we keep our ear to the streets with everything going on. Another day with the best community in the community. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's just get right into it because this shit's about to get good to YouTube. Everybody say hey to YouTube. This you're so cute. Sorry.
School that was predominantly black when I was growing up, and when I first saw the first white kid, I was like, "What is that?" You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, what is that? She's canceled. She canceled as fuck. Canceled. Do black people and white people think differently about race? Yes. How will they fall on the spectrum?
I act differently around people who aren't my race.
For sure.
3.
Even naturally, for sure. If you even like not on a purposeful code switch, but there's cultural differences. For sure. If you come on now, let's see.
2,
let's see.
1.
I think the most important thing is just to
strongly disagree. They're fucking lying. They're
authentically be yourself, and I don't think being around people who don't look like you should be a reason for you to act any different.
Okay, to her point, to act differently around people who don't look like me should not be my point. But that's not to say that you haven't watched every movie that I know black people have watched. So when I bring up references for jokes, there's different references that I use for you because I know you've watched a different set of movies based on your culture. It's that simple. I act differently even just in a humor manner because you haven't watched culturally what I've watched. Even just Friday, those set of classic black movies, they haven't watched all of them. So when you make jokes to them, it's not going to be the same funny jokes that you make to black people. That's just the truth. So if you're telling me that you don't do that, you can't make the same jokes that you make to black people because you know they've watched more black movies. I understand that because I understand humor. So it's not even it's just, that's not even code switching. And that's exactly to her point. You shouldn't act differently, but I know you're not going to pick up on every joke that I have because I have a different background. So I'm going to try to tap into something that I know is your background.
Yeah, for me,
it's just that simple.
Like, within the confines of like the workforce.
I'll be a simple agree.
I was thinking code switching.
Because if you show up to a meeting talking like this, they're like,
shit, I'm white and I agree.
Uneducated.
I feel like if you like, it would be nonsensical to disagree. Everybody that disagrees, they're almost lying. It's almost like lying to yourself because even in a natural manner, even if you hate code switching, because I've grown out of that and I don't like code switching either. So that's not what I'm talking about. Even if you hate code switching, you can't make the same jokes for different sets of cultures. You cannot. You just can't.
They'll use the slang to sell the products into
they're academic. Literally, like, bro, you just can't.
There who's authentically
you don't.
from the area and talking like people
with the
from
humor
area,
part.
Like,
come on, it's just that
like
simple.
That. You know, because it's always like, well, be yourself until you yourself. And then it's like, oh, I don't like yourself. Unfortunately, in a lot of the areas of work, it's like you almost have to like lie to these people to be like, I'm a robot. I'll like, you know, I love your company.
Yeah.
I won't say that anymore. It's 2026. I won't say like with the code switching, I disagree. I will say in this day and age, don't be code switching no more. You don't have to do that. You don't have to lie about who you are as much. Even I'll speak for black people. As black as you are, you don't have to lie or hide it or suppress it anymore. You would still get the job, or you would still get the, you know what I'm saying? But obviously don't be overly talking to people crazy or nothing. But to his point, it's not like you can't be yourself no more. That I don't like code switching shit like that, but no, that's not my point.
It's sick, but it's like
they laughing and shit. They know shit. They know.
It's one part, but also like there's certain parts in my own community.
They wouldn't laugh if it wasn't true, by the way.
That when I'm around different people that look like me, I can express myself differently. Like I feel like if I talk a little proper, sometimes I get a little slack for it from my side of the family. But when I go out into the world, sometimes I like EDC, I like tech music, I like, you know what I'm saying?
See, for me, I feel like it has nothing to do with race. It more has to do with just being professional. Like if I'm at work, then I'm obviously going to be
You are drinking tequila, Abby.
a little more proper, you know. a little bit less slang and all of that, and just more careful with my rhetoric, but I don't think it has to do with race. The only thing I will say is, like, I work in political media, so I'm on camera a lot, so people already know who I am and what I'm coming with. But that being said, it's like when I'm around other black people, because I'm a Republican, sometimes they tend to be really standoffish with me or think that I don't understand the culture and all this different stuff. So sometimes I have to feel it out, like, are these people who are just gonna call me an Uncle Tom, or are these people like I can actually just keep it all the way real with?
Everything he's saying, he's on the agree side.
So that's the only time I feel like I act different. Because
Then you agree. Like, you agree, bro. You know it happens, even if it's naturally. Even if you worry about the outcome of how people view you, bro, he's dead ass saying he agrees. He's literally saying he agrees.
of race.
You know, I also work in.
Even if you're saying that's the only time it happens, I'm speaking on the only instance, but I still would agree because I know this does happen. It's natural. It's natural, bro. If you're saying you don't act differently around different people based on race, you're lying, bro. You're lying.
Political media, but as a leftist, and I honestly feel like I've definitely benefited from being able to be in spaces where I've been able to be authentically myself, and I definitely think that's a privilege, especially where I grew up is just something that's regularly happening that people have to go through. But personally, I think I've been able to, especially now in a business side and now my new workplace, I feel like I don't have to adapt my language to make people respect me or understand where I'm trying to come from, you know?
At what?
Do you see how their logic doesn't make sense?
Adapt my language. Business side and now my new workplace, I feel like I don't have to adapt my language.
She agrees, by the way. I want y'all to understand her logic. She says she feel like she's in a place where now she doesn't have to do that. If you're speaking on society as a whole, you know that's the fucking case. You just feel like you're in a place where now you don't have to do that. Yo, this is blowing me. If you're blatantly lying to yourself if you saying that this isn't the case, this isn't the structure. Bro, there's different cultural backgrounds for even just humor. That's bothering me, bro.
Respect me or understand where I'm trying to come from, you know?
At what point is it damn, we can't even really have?
She talking about you use the Barbie voice at the call center. Even if you don't code switch, bro, it's just about humor. I gave the base point of just humor. You do it. Everybody
up
does.
And being oh, this is how we have to talk like this, so they'll listen, or regardless.
See, I'm not saying no. We don't have to. No, but
I don't know that it's because I'm right. I know where you're going.
You see me.
I know. I think I know exactly where he's going. I don't think it's intrinsically rooted in race, but I think just the way the social genetic makeup of people are. I think just by way of people of specific races speaking a certain way or being perceived a certain way, it tends to be more often than not rooted in race based off of
he gets it. It's not that I want it to be that way. It's not. I'm sorry that it is, but it's just the way that the world is playing out more often than not, exactly what he's saying though.
Yeah.
I think most people have barriers they put up when they get introduced to a new group. I went on disagree instead of strongly disagree because there have been situations where I get introduced to a group of someone of a different race. And at first I'm pulled back, but once I get comfortable with them, those walls come down and then, that's where my true self comes out.
Everybody who's answered the question has agreed.
For me, it really depends because I've been shooting music videos in the hood, so I really need to basically adopt myself to become a black
He just agreed.
person. So for me, it's not a problem.
Mind you, he just agreed. He just said he needs to basically adopt himself. He just agreed.
Meeting new races, I always vibe.
Logic is dead.
With people.
Do you think adapting yourself to those different ethnicities is something that's required to foster a successful relationship?
I would say it's really more for your survival because, if you are...
Not even that's the point. He agrees. He agrees. What the fuck are you standing over there for? The only point you can make where disagree is correct would be it's not necessarily race because it would be a new proper black person and I will change the way I talk, but they all agree for real. Every answer that they have, the logic in their answer, they agree. And they all said that now either they don't feel like they have to do that anymore or that they do that. He just literally said that he does that and he shoots music videos. He agrees. hearing everyone on the disagree makes me want to slam. Bro, they fucking agree. They agree. They're telling you they may not want. They're saying disagree because they don't like that they have to do that, or they dislike that. They're disagreeing because they dislike code switching, and I get it. But that's not, they agree that this naturally happens, that you act differently around people based off race. They're naturally agreeing. Simple as that. I'm sorry.
White guy on like
That shit kind of
set,
getting me
and,
stressed.
There's like people with like guns and stuff, and you know, you just really need to like fit in and just be chill with it.
You're from the Ukraine, right? Do you feel like being like not having grown
I grew up in the hood, but it's a thing to code switch. I've been shot at several times in the hood, but I'm not bringing that up a bunch. At my financial center job, they just gonna look at me like, what the fuck? Like, you don't know gunshot sound in your surroundings. Shaking my head. It's just the fact that like everybody does this naturally. That's simply my point. Naturally, like even if you're Mexican, you make different Mexican jokes with your Mexican family and culture, because that's y'all were raised and you know different movies than black people know. You know different movies than white people know. So when you make a joke or when you make a reference or when you just refer to something, that's different based off your race and culture. It's just true. It's different backgrounds, different cultures. When you're around different people, you have an idea that they have a different set of knowledge than this people. That's just fucking true. I don't know
American
why,
culture as a whole, and then especially not growing up with our subcultures. Do you feel like that's influenced the whole? Do you feel like being like not having grown up with American culture as a whole, and then especially not growing up with our subcultures? Do you feel like that's influenced the way you move when you're moving between our subcultures?
My like mentality is kind of mixed, because like from the age of like 13, I really started to learn English. From that, I really learned a lot. Like I really got the American like mentality more. And basically like my mentality is like mixed, because like in Ukraine, if we see a black person, we call them the N-word.
For real? That's what y'all be doing? Oh shit, I am. You know, my fault. That shit.
And from our side, it's not offensive. Like we say,
Fuck you mean from our side? Nigga, you're the offender. Fuck you mean it's not offensive? You're the offender.
it's not
the fuck
from
you
a
talking
offensive
about?
way, but some people can,
Logic is dead.
because you know, like you don't see a black person there.
I can understand that because I went to a school that was predominantly black when I was growing up. And when I
Why would
first
you
saw
be
the
offended,
first white
nigga? You're the
kid, I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was a white girl with like red hair, and I was like, whoa, I've never seen this before. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand that, like, when a white person comes to a predominantly black group, then you're going to try your best to adapt to that, to our culture, to be like, okay, hey, I get along with you. This is my way of like telling you, like, hey, this is, I'm like extending an olive branch, basically. So, yeah.
Personally, not to sound triggered, but I just don't like the notion that you're becoming a black person by pretending to be hood or
No,
adopting a hood
just like
mentality.
this-
Bro, who told you that? It's like we be having our own ideals in our mind that keep us boxed in, and like you feel that way. Nobody says you're black based off anything. There's no definition to be black, gang. Besides just DNA, whatever you want to go based off, bro. Like that's that for me. I pick DNA. Fuck shit. But if you want to pick DNA, bro, that's what I pick. Like, okay, you're black based off the DNA, your background, your whatever the case may be. He's talking about some like, why do you care? Why do you care if this is what pisses you off? That doesn't make nobody black.
Because not all black people are hood, not all black people are
Exactly.
ghetto.
like
I understand what you're trying to say,
Brother.
and I don't know if it's a language barrier, so I don't want to like come at you like you're saying something
he
racist.
pissed him off. My
but
fault.
I just really am anti-black people being defined as ghetto and hood, because there's a lot of classy black people out
Yes,
there.
there's a lot of intelligent.
I ain't gonna lie, we gotta stop speaking in absolutes, by the way. He didn't say that all black people are classy or ghetto. If he did say all, or he said the people that he films music videos, but people gotta stop also thinking in absolutes. If a person does use a word like all or everyone, that's absolute, and the statement just wouldn't be true. He didn't use any of those words, I believe, but don't think in absolutes. He's boxing himself in as a black man. Like he thinks in his own head, like he's boxing himself in based off the stereotypes that he believes that other people has set for us. Fuck that shit.
Afro-Americans.
I'm gonna get ready for bed.
Out there.
Good night. Keep it tight. Have the best day ever tomorrow. All right, because everybody deserves it. You deserve it. Good night and Godspeed. And we hope to see you again tomorrow. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Popular, make you're the fucking best.
And it really like depends on like where you grew up in.
Also, if you are hood and ghetto like me, you can also be all those things too.
White people also experience race-based prejudice.
Yeah,
Since
I
you
agree.
guys probably don't know, I have lived overseas.
If you disagree is coming.
Yes,
Disagree is crazy. disagree is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Disagree is
Lived
crazy.
in Asian countries. In Japan, there are certain restaurants and stuff like that that you could walk into. You can
For
see
shit, sure.
people.
Every race experiences prejudice. By the way, that's why disagree for this would just be crazy. Every race experiences prejudice.
Dining in the restaurant, and they're
I
gonna
want to hear his logic for disagree.
tell you they're closed, just because you're white or you're American. So the idea that white people
I was gonna say
can't
something, but you
really
said it first,
experience
Leaks. I want to hear
racism
his logic.
Contradicts the very
I want to
definition
hear
of the
this
word.
logic.
Because the definition of
Because now, if we
racism
would have said racism, it's like semantics does matter, but words do have meanings, and words was given to specific situations for stuff. Now, if they would have said every race experienced racism, semantics would make somebody able to argue you down. But they said prejudice. Every fucking race experiences prejudice.
is prejudice based on one's skin color. White people do
Every race.
experience it, but
Every
to a different
ethnicity.
degree.
Right
While
now,
I
she only
do-
directing it to the person who disagreed. I mean, it's only one person who disagreed, and I feel like disagreeing in this instance when they also got the word really right. Now, if they would have said racism, it would have been like, ugh. Somebody would have argued you down because semantics is important. Prejudice is the right word.
I think that our white brothers and sisters in Christ can experience racial-based prejudice.
He's stuck on racism. I get it already. Semantics. He's stuck on racism. Maybe he didn't fully listen to them say like the question, or maybe they don't have it laid out. But I feel like if you see prejudice instead of racism, that's important, bro. Semantics is important.
Want to overlook the nuance of that prejudice because it's
okay.
not necessarily rooted in anything.
Hold on now.
Racial-based prejudice. I don't want to overlook the nuance of that prejudice because it's not necessarily rooted in anything systematic or anything that's going to actually have long-term effects.
But they didn't ask you all that if it was systematic, though. They just asked you if they experience it, and they do. Like, that's just, bro, like, where's the logic coming from, bro?
That are going to, like, debilitate a race or inhibit their chances or possibility of succeeding or being seen as.
Bro, if they don't get to eat at a restaurant or if they don't get service to whatever product that's because of their race, that's prejudice, bro. Everybody experiences that, though. Like, if they just can't get access to a simple product, or if they can't shop in a store, or if they can't comfortably, if they're getting looks because of their race in a store, they're being treated differently. That's prejudice, bro. It's like, it don't have to be so, like, grand, bro. Oh, my God.
POC?
I definitely think it's a non-issue, racism towards white people, especially specifically, I want to
That shit real,
in America.
Abby?
I don't think it's something that needs to be highlighted as an issue that is a constant threat to lives, day-to-day well-being, progress and success in
I will
life in
agree.
general, because it's not
Like, their prejudice is not the same as what some races, like, all prejudice is not like life-threatening like it is for some races. I agree with what she's
something
saying.
that's going to inhibit you, and you don't have to walk out your door and think, I'm about to be attacked,
I
like
agree.
people of color do every single day.
I do agree that white people haven't been put through centuries of hell like black people were, but prejudice towards white people 100% exists. Like,
Thank you. Oh my God, bro. Love the logic. W2 hours. Thank you,
Whether
everybody
it's-
who's been there every second, every minute, man. That's what she can give you. The bad bitch. Put your hands up high.
in TV, if it's in movies, like if you watch predominantly black media, there's a lot of roasting towards white people that if it was the other way around, that would never be acceptable today. Then you go on social media like TikTok and you look up white people or bad, you will see videos where they're attacking white people for things that their ancestors did 200 years ago. There are societal benefits at this point for being a person of color, and that those negatively affect white people. Like if you look at affirmative action, diversity quotas in the workplace, all these different things, they lower the bar for black people, but then increase the bar for white people. However, I think where some of the issue comes is because a lot of marginalized groups and people of color back in the day went through so much worse that it's easy for us to discredit the prejudice that white people now deal with today.
I agree. I ain't gonna lie. I like how he explained himself. He gets it. Like, I agree with what he's saying.
I think like on an individual.
That's why that's why their point. That's the only reason that person will be in disagree, because like, even when you think of prejudice, you hold history to words. So it's like you don't think that this race may have went through the prejudice that this race has went through. So you're holding like a history to it. And I feel like I kind of agree with what he's saying. He had a good point.
Individualistic level, like yeah, white people get hate all the time.
He's gaining my respect again. He cooked with that one.
Zoom
Not gonna
out
lie.
and you look at the big picture.
He cooked
it's a little
for sure.
bit different. And like talking
So
about like
segregated there, I didn't
YouTube
think about it.
having,
Texas is
racist
bad, too.
content for
Yes.
anyone out there. It's like I would have to go and seek that out versus it like coming to me. Versus like on Twitter.
Against white people?
Yeah, I would have to like look for a video being like, oh, people who hate white people.
I agree.
Like versus like Twitter, I don't have to scroll very long before
I agree.
I see some person making some out-of-pocket comment about
And regulation
some shit.
being lifted
I
so
agree.
people can see that even more so.
Right.
Absolutely, that's 100% right. And even saying affirmative action, statistically and on paper, white people, white women were benefiting more from affirmative action at colleges than any other demographic. So I also don't think that's fair to say, but I definitely get what you mean. And again, I think the prejudice is still there though.
And I will say that black people do deal with prejudice. I think every demographic deals with prejudice. There are racist people everywhere.
Xavier.
Like, I just don't think systemic racism is an issue anymore in today's society.
Nigga, what? What the fuck he say? No, I ain't gonna lie. He just said some bullshit. He just said some bullshit, and that's how they got you, nigga. That's exactly how they got you, because that shit's not in your fucking face. Oh my God. He says some fucking bullshit. He thinks systemic racism is not a fucking thing today. You're a dumbass. I ain't gonna lie. You're a dead-ass dumbass nigga.
But I do think that there are
Real
racist
shit.
people out there.
I
That's
think
some
that there's
bullshit
a really
to say.
important distinction. Our
Honestly.
language is constantly evolving, and you were talking about the definition of racism. Our societal definition has changed to include a systemic part of it. And I completely disagree with this idea that people of color don't have systemic things against them still.
Oh my God. Yo, she fucking cooked. She's cooking right in his fucking face. He's a dumbass. She's cooking right in his face. He's a dumbass nigga. I'm sorry. He is. She's cooking in his face. She just told this nigga. She just told him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. She's cooking. She just told that nigga right to his face. Like, I'm sorry. I don't agree with this point. Come on, bro. She just cooked. I'm sorry. She cooked. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Our
Hold on.
societal definition has changed to include constantly evolving, and you were talking
W.
about the definition of racism.
Hold
There's a
on,
really
she-
important distinction. Our language is constantly evolving, and you were talking about the definition of racism. Our societal definition has changed to include a systemic part of it. And I completely disagree with this idea that people of color don't have systemic things against them still. Because the fact that we still have the KKK, the fact that we still have these things, and they are in positions of power. As
He's
long
stupid.
as that exists, and as long as
They
that's
look,
a
they
part of our
happy as, she happy as fuck.
country's like makeup right now, which it is, and that's our power structure, I don't feel like you can honestly deny systemic racism against the black community, which is why prejudice is so different from racism.
Oh, she's smart. She actually has logic. He's stupid. They got him. I want y'all to understand, he's been a black man that has been fooled, and he doesn't think that there's any oppression against him anymore. They got him. That shit works.
I don't think white people can experience racism in this
Just
country,
remember that.
but we can experience prejudice based on the societal definition.
She just said exactly everything I said. They like, you can't experience racism because of the semantics. The word does have a history towards, you feel me, slavery. So maybe you can't experience racism, but everybody experiences prejudice. They get it.
Being sexually unattracted to a race is racist.
I disagree. I strongly disagree.
I think where the line gets drawn is when if a white male was sitting there swiping.
I
and he's-
strongly disagree. It's just how you are unattracted to the race. Not everybody's gonna like everything. You have your own preferences. So my point would be, you might just be outside of my preferences, but that's not to say that if you say some shit like, I don't like Indian women, or some shit like whatever your gender that you like is, if I don't like this, I don't like Indians. That inherently is racist, because there can be somebody in that like genre that can fit your type. But if it's just like, you like European features with big noses or some shit, then it would be like, that's not my preference, but
Just
it's
like,
about how you
I
say
don't
shit.
like black girls. They're all ugly. They have too big of
I
lips.
agree,
I
Big
think
Red.
that's where the line gets drawn. But
You like, fuck
can't
no,
really help
ew, I don't fucking, ew, I don't like, you can't say shit like that. Ew, I don't, ew, no, I don't, nah.
you're attracted to. Like, my fiance is Mexican, and it's like, I like him for who he is, not how he looks.
Yeah.
I think that
I would
we are
disagree.
conditioned to be attracted and to respond to people that we grow up and around with. So homogeneously,
Hell nah.
we grow up with people who look like us. So when you move into dating and things like that, statistically, you're going to be attracted to people that you
Fuck
grew up
no.
seeing, right? However, when you are discrediting a certain race for whatever reason based off their ethnicity, meaning everybody who did exist, is existing, and will exist from that race, you are not feeling anything.
Nigga said,
Cute.
I like
I don't
big
control your body or your thoughts, but on one hand, I'm like, let's maybe unpack that. Also, where's my camera? To all the girls that's putting this in their bios, that's none of our business. Stop doing that. Keep
Put in what?
that to yourself. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear it.
For me,
Well, hear
I
what?
think that like we're talking about conditioning and how we grew up, right? If you go to like South Africa, for instance, which within some of
Cook
our
Nikki.
lifetimes had apartheid. If you grow up in that, especially as a black person, where you're constantly being mistreated by every single white person, and you're conditioned to be like, white person, no thank you. I don't think that's racist.
I agree, and I did not grow up in South.
I would say that would just naturally would be the outcome of your reality. There's no racism based on the like systemic like oppression there, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's not racism per se. You're not like, you're being oppressed by this group of people. It's not racist for you to dislike your oppressors. That doesn't make sense. That's kind of a defense mechanism.
Africa was apartheid.
That
However,
kinda doesn't
like
make
I
sense.
said, the nickname of my town was Clancy. Like a lot of my interactions growing up were incredibly racist, and I'm dating a white guy. So I totally get what you mean. I don't want to discredit black people or anyone who's had those kind of situations, because it's not that they're not dating white people. It's definitely, it's more like they're caught.
So she thinks that makes it racist but she thinks that makes it racist. Like, that doesn't make sense though.
Cautious.
I think you used the perfect word earlier.
Fuck nigga, what? He switched off
Is it
that?
conditioned or
No way, gang. No way. There's no way that they agree that it makes it racist for you to be unattracted to another race. What? Bro, what? Everybody has their own fucking preferences. If you are outside of my preferences and it just happens to be like we said before, Big Red, it's definitely how you go about it and how you say things. But if a wide majority of this race is outside of my preferences, how does that make me racist? That has nothing like that. That has nothing to do with their race. That's just what I prefer to enjoy my time with, or whatever the case may be. What the fuck, bro? I don't know. The logic in this video pisses me off. I believe we all people, how we treat each other to make differences. Yes, we all different colors, but we need to chill and not attack each other. I don't know why our colorism attack we use Hispanic and all that. I don't know. It's like that's been the since the beginning of time, Abby. I don't have the answer.
Actually, I was thinking about it on terms of
I love
me being
everybody,
a black woman.
though.
I feel like it's a lot different when it is a black woman going into dating someone that is not of their race. I can tell you from my experience with dating Hispanic men, white, whatever, they've only seen Jerry Springer and
Is there a neutral?
Maury. So it's like they have a whole different idea of what a black woman is.
It's the same if you don't like short people. It's based off looks, really, but it's based off your preference. Yes, it's based off looks, but then there's something you get a feeling based off how somebody makes you feel some type of way. When you look at your preference, you feel a way. You get feelings. So just because I don't feel a way because I'm looking at this, it happens to be a large majority of this race, that's not my fault. I don't make my preferences. I don't create my own preferences, for real. So it's like, that's weird.
Like before my husband changed
This video
the line,
is pissing me
one of the
off.
comments made to me was he was afraid
My
of me
family
going
is several
to his
black color,
house with braids in
so
my
I can't
hair.
judge. We
Because
all
then
souls
they
in a
would
small world,
assume that
having a human experience.
I was a different kind of girl instead of looking at me for who I am.
I have been denied
like that one.
access because of my race.
Agreed.
I can go anywhere.
That shouldn't happen before to me. Like,
where I can sit down anywhere, and I.
as a kid, though, I feel like after 2010, 2015 and up, you running into like racism head on. You're probably in like a racist. You're probably in more of a racist city. It still be happening for shit, sure. But like when I was a kid, it was like still, there wasn't as much cameras around and everything like that. Niggas was still gonna be racist to your ass. For shit, sure. That shit was still gonna happen. After like 2010 though, it's like you be racist, your ass gonna probably get caught.
I'm not going to be denied
Probably gonna get caught,
because
nigga.
of how I look.
For real.
And I would be ignorant to not admit that.
And I'm going to counter that with we are justifiably not let into spaces. And our whiteness takes away access to things like powwow.
Thanks for the follow, bitch ass nigga. I mean, thanks for the follow, Twin. What you ate today? I like Nikki. I ain't gonna lie. Nikki, she's moving up in the ranks. Nikki might be fine shit.
Down anywhere, and
I fucks with Nikki.
am not going to be denied because of how I look. And I would be ignorant to not admit that.
And I'm going to counter that with we are justifiably not let into spaces. And our whiteness takes away access to things like powwows. And there's an island in Hawaii that's only for natives or for like safe spaces.
Man,
for
you talking about one island in Hawaii, Nikki. Hold on now.
communities or whatever else. We are justifiably denied access because of our skin.
Period. We love the nuance.
The thing about
Carolyn, they're talking about this video is about what do black people think about white people, and this question right here is I have been denied access because of my race, and they're either on agree, strongly agree, or disagree, or strongly disagree. What do you think? Have you ever been denied access because of your race? It happened to me because I wanted a bonnet just so I could take care of my hair, and they denied me from buying it, and it pissed me the fuck off. Hey, they ain't let you buy a bonnet, nigga. Come on now. That's kind of wild, gang. In 2026. Come on, bro. Come on, twin. That's kind of crazy. You need one of mine? This video is crazy. This video is good.
though,
Yeah.
The last two Jubilee videos were good.
Hawaii is stolen land. I believe that they have every right to be able to say only we're around.
I'm headed to bed. Glad to be here. Good night. Keep it tight. Have the best day ever tomorrow. All right, because if anybody deserves it, you deserved it. Good night. And Godspeed. We hope to see you again tomorrow. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your time, Twin. We love you. Thank you, bro, Batman.
Allowed to go here because that was theirs. It was literally stolen land that was stolen by white people.
Yes. No, but that's why it's justifiably, it's still denied access.
Yeah.
But it is justifiable. 100%. Don't let me
it's
in.
denied access.
She has logic, bro. I get it. She has fucking logic. Justifiably, yes, we understand why there's denied access, but there's denied access because of your race. That's a fact. Oh my God, yo. I hate everybody except Nikki in this video.
Access, but it's justifiable. But it's like in my own day-to-day life, I could go anywhere. I can sit down anywhere. I can go read.
You couldn't go there. You can't go there in Hawaii in your day-to-day life. You couldn't go there.
A book in a library. I can go to Starbucks. People don't fear me because
She the only one with logic.
Be like,
For real,
you
for
can't
real,
be
for
here.
real.
But like in your day-to-day life, are you being denied access? Like, are you trying to go to that island that they won't let you? Okay.
Then I think that
They didn't. The question doesn't say in my day-to-day life. In my day-to-day, it doesn't say in my day-to-day life will I be denied access.
that's a really good question.
Shit.
Has it happened?
Oh, it does say I have been denied. So this is maybe just speaking based off purely experience. She's speaking off places that she knows that would deny her access. So she has a point, but if she'd never been denied access, she would still have to be over there, but she would just have to be saying agree.
Yes. Because like, are you seeking those spaces then?
I'm not
Go to the
necessarily
Caribbean, Belize.
seeking them. If I am already aware that this is like, hey, this is for us, not for you. I'm not going to show up and be like, yeah, but like, I'm a cool white person. But there are spaces.
She got a point, because it's like, even if she hasn't been denied access there, she has logic, bro. I like how she makes sense. Even if she hasn't been denied access to this point in Hawaii, she knows she can't go there. So even if she hasn't inherently went up to the fucking gate and been turned away, she's been denied access. She's denied access right now for every second of her life that she's white. She's denied access right now. So technically, not even technically, she's denied because of her race. As long as it's just like, bro, they don't have good logic and she does. That's all.
Is that we are not allowed. And I think that's okay.
No, it is okay. But if you're not actively seeking to be part of those circles, you're not being denied access to them.
I will agree with that.
Yeah. I say I agree with what he's saying too, but it's like you're not being turned away. But if she were to go, she would be. So what's like to rebuttal your point? She's not actively being denied. But if she were to go, nigga, she would be. She's not allowed.
Sure, and
Neither are
and I
you.
can say that maybe those are not the best examples, but like I think especially because my social circles are predominantly people of color, there are definitely things where they're like, where I've had them be like, this is not a conversation for you, and I'm like, okay. I have had those experiences. I'm okay with them. I want to be clear. Like, I think there should be spaces that aren't for me, and that is okay. But they've existed and they've been in my life.
I have just one
like Nikki,
really
dog.
specific example. Otherwise, I feel like in general, I'm not denied access because of my race, just in my experience. But I had an ex whose stepfather was wildly racist, like Nazi memorabilia, like just
Nikki cool,
insane
oh God.
individual.
Nikki
And
my
I was
favorite.
never allowed over her house because of him. And the one time that I kind of snuck in, he was staring at me through the window. And I'll never forget that in my life, the way that man was staring at me through the window and then cursed out his kids for having me in the house. That man's now in prison for doing
What?
God knows what. But it's
Oh
where he
hell
belongs.
no.
I was looking for funding for my film, and most of them are for colored people, and I totally understand that. And there is like not many that I found that
You
are
talking
for
about
like
facts.
everybody. My mind
Facts,
would be
Red.
like, damn, I cannot do it. Like I cannot apply to it. But from the other side, I understand that the black community, like you guys need to get your movies out there.
If anything,
What,
I
nigga?
feel like I've been
Fuck is he talking
invited
about?
too much. You know, I feel like I'm kind of like an undercover agent where I'm like because I talk a certain way or because I present myself a certain way, they assume like, oh, I could say this in front of you.
100%.
And I'm like, what do you
Shit happen all the time, Abby.
You know, I've never
That's
really
it.
been.
Now, I'll say that too. I've been tokenized so many times.
I'm like, I don't want
we
that.
have to have
No,
it here.
facts.
We need young black representation.
I don't want to
I'm
be the special black guy. I don't want to be that either. Just let me be regular, please.
I'm gonna stay home.
That's for real. I don't want to be the special.
I am
No.
proud of my race.
If anybody picks anything outside of agree, it's like, fuck you mean? If you pick any, I'm proud of my race. If you, what the hell?
3.
Nikki, chill. Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie, Nikki hates y'all. She hate what the fuck y'all doing to these niggas. Nikki do not like what's going on.
2, 1.
Yo. Nikki hate what's going on around
I
here.
will go
Nikki, I
first,
love you.
and I will stand.
Nikki,
10
gotta
toes
take you on a
in.
date.
I was just being ironic to stand over there.
What the fuck, boy? Don't fucking piss me off, Xavier. I don't got time for this shit today.
First, and I will stand 10 toes in.
I was just being ironic to
I
stand
think-
over there.
Yeah, ironic. Right, nigga. I don't got time for this shit.
I cried a little bit.
I was being messy.
And here she go.
and
Oh
I'll just
my,
keep it
she get on my nerves too, Big Red. Her too. What's her name? She get on my fucking nerves too.
To my experience or what I know, as Black Americans, we're pretty much the top culture that gets replicated, referenced. People scoot in and scoot out because they want to seem cool and interesting and stuff. And I think that that's so kind of us to like kind of like be beaten down for so long and be kind of separated from our African roots, create
agree.
names for ourselves, culture,
Even outside of that, after we got separated, we created some shit that wanted to be replicated again. So it's like,
language around
niggas always
our
figure it out.
identities as Black Americans and have that be a thing that's just reverberating across the globe. I think that's so cute. Can never be replicated, can never be understated, and I love that about it.
That was kind of the start of my thought.
I ain't gonna lie, that's some generational shit to pull off. It's like, y'all don't understand, but like, Black Americans had the greatest rebrand of all time. Niggas been taken away from their homeland, and after a couple generations, it's like, niggas want to be like niggas again. Come on now.
Process too, like just the basis of
Come on now.
being torn down so adamantly, so regularly,
Come on, all the black,
hundreds of years
all the white people on the disagree side besides the one dude.
in law. Even like it is insane that we are here today to even be on camera, to even be in a place with other white people. Like it is a beautiful thing that we have been able to flourish in such
Kind of shows
dirt,
what society is now.
like
I
literal
agree.
filth and grime that our ancestors had to go through, and even our grandparents had.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to say it like that, but society is kind of like overall, it's kind of like trickles of like black culture over time. And it's like whatever is trickling down is like a popular piece of like, you know.
Had to go through like.
I went to Jamaica. There was a European Spaniard ship. They gave me commission, helped me sell stuff just because I knew Spanish. Got me free rum cakes and some gifts, fake Gucci bags. It was wonderful.
My 8th grade yearbook I saw recently said like the South will rise again. Like, and this was 2015. So like this is such a day-to-day thing, and I am proud to be black. And it's hard to say that. Like it was hard to say that as a kid. Like. Or else I could be called the N-word. I could be
no facts. Being black in the South as a kid, that's why I tell y'all, a nigga did run into racism. Being black in the South as a kid, that shit dead ass only stopped around maybe 2010 for real.
And I feel so blessed to even be able to think that.
Everybody needs to be proud of their race and stop this like racist bullshit, because like you could be green, red, black, white, Hispanic, like it doesn't matter.
I agree with like what you're saying.
I would agree with his point, but I agree with his point, but he just didn't have no logic behind it. Like, be proud to be your race, but give me like the reasons why you're proud to be your race. That's just, it's not even that you owe me no fucking explanation. Be proud to be your fucking race though. He just didn't say shit, but like I understand what they're probably finna say too of why they're like upset with their race overall.
Because my own personal belief is that at the basis of who we are is that we're all just people. We're not
Indeed.
a skin tone. But because of those before me, I now have to fight back against the idea that all white people are racist. I remember being in 4th grade and learning about the Holocaust for the first time and saying, I don't want to be German anymore.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie, shit like that does matter. And it's like, I appreciate people like her in the world because it's like they're the extensions of something that they didn't want to be a part of. Think about that. That shit is tough to deal with. They're an extension of something that they would never be a part of. And people treat you differently based off that shit, regardless. Same with black people. So it's like, if you can't understand that shit as a nigga, some other races have that shit going for them too. They're treated differently based off some shit that they would never ever want to be a part of. Like,
meanwhile,
that's
my
just
mother's
nasty
family
work.
is German. American history, you look at things like slavery, you look at things like Jim Crow laws, segregation. There is so much.
I hated myself for it, even though I wasn't part of it, bro. That's like such an that's what most of the world is now. It's not the people that did the actions. It's like, if you don't think the world is mostly like people like communicating now who are like we're the rest of the action, like we're the kids of the people who went through that, the generations after. We didn't go through that directly, but your parents, your great grandparents did it, and it happened to my great grandparents. My grandparents went through the systematic oppression. Your grandparents helped. My dad and my mom went through the last steps of the like overall hard oppression, and your dad, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like extensions and extensions and extensions over years. So it's like me and you directly, we didn't go through it, and I would never want to be a part of some shit like that, and you wouldn't want to be a part of some shit like that either, but we have to deal with it. And it's like, that makes people mad at each other, bro. That shit is so sad.
It's still happening in closeted ways that I cannot.
We all family in Houston, San Antonio.
For me, like, I am proud of who I am, like who I grew up to be, like I like who I am. But like, if I were to say I'm a proud white man, like I don't even know what that means. Like,
no, I get what he's saying.
there have been zero racial hurdles in my life. Now, like, I'm a proud gay man because like I've had to go through shit to get to where I am now. And you know, even to that point, so much of queer culture comes from black culture, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I want to be proud of the things I've done, the people who I've touched, whose hearts I've opened
I totally
up.
get you.
I feel like
and
it's beyond our race.
I totally
feel like
get you. It all a different experience for real.
what it is,
for
it's our
shit, for shit,
experiences
sure.
that make our light shine.
But it's like to negate everybody's. We can't negate nobody's experience, but we're like the lasting effects, and we all have to like coexist with each other. But it's like people are still mad. Like, your parents did this to my parents, and it's like, damn, that shit fucked up, twin. Because I'm still fucked up behind it. So it's like lasting effects. That shit is too real.
Real. So that's what I'm proud of, actually. Yeah.
I think that there's a really big difference between being proud to be black and being proud to be white. So being proud of your culture,
Hold on, Nikki.
beautiful thing. Like, be proud to be Ukrainian. I'm proud to be Slavic. The black community is different, and the reason it's different is because their culture, specifically Black Americans, their culture was stripped away from them when they were brought over here. So then the culture became being Black American. The race became cultural.
I mixed that up.
So
Sorry
no,
about the hate.
yeah, but like
Okay. See, Nikki, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know what Nikki be studying or what she be looking into. I like how she think though. She got good logic behind her.
So I think that there's a really big difference between like
For
I
real.
am proud of my people are Slavic versus I am proud of my race. It just gets convoluted because Black Americans, the race has become the culture because the culture was stripped away.
I also think oftentimes when you talk about
like Nikki,
white
man.
pride versus black pride, oftentimes black pride is rooted in like love and like perseverance of like culture, customs, language, and things like that. And white pride is often rooted in like black hate,
Yeah, like overtaking land.
Latin hate, Asian hate. So I think that's like an interesting.
Nikki has a good future ahead of her. She got a good head on her shoulders. She thinks well for herself. Even though I know this video, she's very like black, like she's very like sticking up for black people. Even just aside from that, she has very good fucking logic into everything she says, bro.
Nuance.
Like that ass.
Overlook.
No, and I think that's such an important point. I think there's a difference between like I'm proud and therefore I'm better versus I am proud of what we have overcome.
Yeah, and then the whole idea of white pride started with people who think the Confederate flag is a personality trait. So how can I be proud of that?
I'm not saying that
good point,
this
too.
applies to any of you, but I meet a lot of white people, particularly white liberals, who will actively say that they're ashamed of being white, and that is wild to me because how can you look at your past and because, yes, your race did terrible things in the past, but you shouldn't define yourself as that. If anything, you should look at that and reflect.
So do you think white people
I think that's what they're doing, man. Xavier, you don't have good logic, bro. You don't think well for yourself. That's obviously why they're saying that they hate their race or whatever, because of the shit that they did, Xavier. Damn. They're saying that they don't want to be a part of that. That's literally what that's saying. They don't want to be a part of that. They know that their race committed these acts and they have to live through it. He doesn't think, bro. He doesn't
should
fucking
be
think.
proud to be specifically white?
Shit.
See, I think that's a really nuanced question when you're white,
bro.
because I think you guys had the valid point of ethnicity is different, because like white isn't a collective culture in the way that black is, because black people have been grouped together and have a similar experience. But like white, like Italian American, you should definitely be proud of being Italian American. You should be proud of being Slavic American. You should be proud of.
I ain't gonna lie, Abby, I grew up in a melting pot too, so it's like being around stuff like this. Florida's a melting pot too. Every race, Haitians, Cubans, Mexican, every single race there. So seeing, like, you know, you experience racism and it's like, okay, what the fuck? You've been around every race, so you don't think anything like that. You think everybody's just people, but you go through that shit is really life changing.
Your lineage, but just to say, oh, I'm proud to be white, like, yeah, that has a weird connotation to it because it's not a collective culture. But what I really want to emphasize is
She's so smart.
that you should not be ashamed of being white in the way that a lot of people are.
I agree with what he's saying, but that logic of how he goes about how he thinks about things, he's just not very good of a thinker.
Yeah.
Or maybe you should.
Okay.
Yeah, see, he's just not that good of a thinker.
That one is on you.
That's all. I fuck with Nikki. Nikki got the best brain in the video. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good ass video though. That was very fucking good. W video. I actually appreciated all the topics in the video. Most people thought well for themselves in the video, things of that nature. I fuck with Jubilee. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one, YouTube, and that's what makes us